Our nation has not grappled with the long-term impacts of abolishing sex. For example, what will come of the reporting on crime and the recording of crime statistics if we continue to abolish sex? It has become commonplace for reporters to report on horrific crimes as being committed by women when they were in fact committed by men. One of the most egregious examples is the reporting on the case of Jacob Nieves, who was convicted in August 2020 of 2 counts of sexual exploitation of children, 1 count of distribution of child pornography, and 1 count of possession of child pornography. Jacob is a man who also claims to identify as a woman. Reports of the story frequently contain headlines, such as this one from the Eagle Tribune in North Andover, Massachusetts. Woman gets 30 years for child sexual abuse. The article clarifies that Nieves identifies and lives as a female without explaining what that might mean when referring to a man, and uses she and her in describing him. 2 of Nieves' victims were under 4 years old, and Nieves apparently told an undercover officer that she had sexually abused 2 children known to her, and sent the undercover agent images and videos that Nieves had produced, which depicted Nieves sexually abusing one of those children. This is a male child sexual abuser being reported on as though he were a woman in what is presumably an otherwise reputable publication. However, no reader would know that by simply reading the headline. Any average reader would simply assume that these horrible crimes had been committed by a woman. If we abolish sex, what will happen to our ability to conduct necessary public health research? Let's take a hypothetical example to illustrate this point. Let's say that a drug company is conducting a clinical trial of a new drug that has the potential to cure prostate cancer and is offering $500 to men who are willing to participate. I sign up on the basis of my supposed male gender identity. Remember, in a world where gender identity reigns supreme, the fact that I do not have a prostate is irrelevant. All that matters is that I claim to identify as a man. Under a legal regime that protects gender identity for all purposes, the drug company would be discriminating against me on the basis of my gender identity if it were to deny my participation in the trial. After I sign up, I complete all the necessary paperwork, ticking the box for M, and proceed to take the experimental drug. The drug company then tests the effects of the drug on my body and incorporates the results into its research. The company reports that all testing on men has been completed with positive results, and the drug is eventually approved. Would the men who later take the drug to cure their prostate cancer even know that at least one of the test participants was female? Wouldn't they have the right to? Shouldn't they? If readers think this sounds preposterous, that's because it is. And yet, in a world where sex is abolished at the altar of gender identity, there is no reason whatsoever that this could not happen or even become commonplace.